Welcome to the Learner's Mindset Foundation module. In this module, we're going to explore your why or your purpose. In addition to that, we're going to be looking at how a shift of focus or a change of focus can help you change your ideas about what you're doing and provide a context for learning. That context for learning will further be explored when we take a look at the CSLE plus COVA framework, which is really about creating that significant learning environment and giving your learners choice, ownership, and voice through authentic learning opportunities. This framework provides a context for a lot of the work you're going to be doing through this professional learning program. With that foundation, we then shift into looking at your learner's mindset and how the growth mindset is part of that same focus. Now, that shift from the growth and learner's mindset is further demonstrated through a focus on a shift in looking at a learning philosophy rather than a teaching philosophy. We focus on the learning rather than the teaching. So this is where we're going, and this is where we're taking you in this module.
So the next perspective I'd like to share really is about the why. So you mentioned talking about and exploring the why. So we have to ask ourselves, what are we passionate about? What do we believe? Why do we do what we do? We refer to Simon Sinek's ideas about the why, and he makes a pretty good argument that everyone knows what they do. Some people know how they do it, but very few people know why they do what they do. And getting to the core of connecting your passion to your purpose is essential in building out significant learning environments and setting up choice, ownership, and voice through authentic learning opportunities and understanding your philosophy, your learning philosophy and belief systems.
Now, the first step in moving towards that significant learning environment only takes a change of focus. We don't have to throw out everything that we're doing. We don't have to radically change things. Sometimes all we need to do is look up to that authentic real-world learning opportunity and use that as a context for the skills, the knowledge, and the abilities that you want your learner to develop. Sometimes all it takes is that change of focus. And with that change of focus, we then can take advantage of a slightly different environment, that significant learning environment that you create that has a focus on giving your learners choice, ownership, and voice through that authentic learning opportunity that you are now focusing on.
To pull that even deeper, we have to consider and go back to our why. Why do we do what we do? What do we believe? And that molds and shapes our perspective in terms of building our learning philosophy and what type of mindset we have. So we talk a bit about a learner's mindset. What does that actually mean? A fixed versus a growth mindset plays into a learner's mindset. What do we believe about who we are, what we're doing? Do we believe our skills are cultivated? Can be cultivated? Or do we believe they're carved in stone? These are essential questions we have to ask ourselves before we move forward in setting up significant learning environments where our kids have the power and opportunity for choice, ownership, and voice through authentic learning. And to consider, what are our learning goals? What drives us? What's our purpose? And how can we get there? So we have to consider what we believe about learning. We are used to a system that tells us exactly what we have to do. We have a package, we are indoctrinated into a packaged recipe and regurgitation model of teaching and learning. And a lot of times we only consider what we believe about teaching and imparting knowledge to our students. We have to step back and shift our focus just a little bit. Consider, what do we believe about learning? How can our students grow through learning? How can we give them opportunities to have choice and ownership and voice of their learning through authentic learning opportunities? We want to give our learners those opportunities, and all of this should connect back with our why and our purpose and why we're doing what we're doing.
So in this module, we are excited to help you make that shift in focus to that big authentic learning opportunity and use that as a context to make your learning environment all about the learner as you prepare your learners, not just for tests, but for life.